Yes, welcome back to the Web TV studio here at the Stockholm School of Economics in Sweden. We are welcoming our last guests and one of our main sponsors for the entire event this week, SEB. Welcome.
Thank you, Filip.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys have been sponsoring Handelsdagarna for how many years now? Do you know exactly?
Not exactly, but for a long time. A long time.
Too
And
long
we are
to
honored.
remember. Yeah.
Honored
Exactly.
to sponsor it again.
Yeah, great. And you guys have been out on the floor down in your booth. What do you think about the fair? Have you gotten any good impressions?
I think it's a lot of interesting companies. It's nice to see so many students coming asking very ambitious and well thought through questions.
Yeah.
It's my impression.
Mm-hmm. And I think, a lot of freshman years, first year when they go here.
Yeah.
And they come up to us and, just want to get to know our company a bit. And I think that's, that is fantastic. That, during your first year you come up and speak to a lot of different companies to get a feeling of what they are about.
Yeah.
So special thumbs up to the first years, freshmen
I mean, it's tough going around there, walking up. It's crazy. Some people don't realize that you guys are here to talk, and people are just I'm just gonna shy away. I'm too shy,
It's also a lot of international students, which is this school's strength that you all have so many international students as well.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think that shows.
And that's good. And do you guys want a lot of international employees as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, me and Sofia both went to the international trainee program, and that's sort of the main gateway into SEB. And by definition, it's international.
Yeah.
So you can apply if you're an international student.
And can you tell us a little about the trainee program? Because you guys both went the trainee program. How it works, what you thought was great about it, and how it ultimately got you to stay at SEB.
Yeah.
I think for me, what was great about it was all the people that I got to meet. Both the trainees is like a group of 25 people with in the same age, with the same career goals, and we just learned a lot together and got to share a great experience. So we just, created this bond. So I have friends all over the bank that I can call at any time. And also we got to meet the CEO and the CFO and all of the high managers as well. So I think for me that was the best part.
Yeah, and the trainee program is really in the walls of SEB, so to speak. Because our former CEO Annika Falkingen, she took the trainee program in 1986. So she's a former trainee. So it's in the walls. Yeah. You could say.
Okay.
I think it's if you could call anyone and say, hi, I'm a trainee, and they'd be like, okay, great, how can I help you?
That's nice to hear, because one of the things we hear from a lot of students is a lot of people just want to go to small companies because of the culture things, but it's great to hear that it actually isn't like that, and it's very
that's sorry, Sofia. Just one thing popped to mind. SEB is a big company. Sure, a lot of companies are big companies, but you could see them as small companies within a big umbrella as well. So I mean, me and Sofia works at the different departments, and sort of our departments are their own companies. You could say.
Okay.
So you're sort of small companies within a big company.
And in which office do you guys work? I know you have a lot around here in Stockholm.
I work in Kungsträdgården.
And I work in Solna, Arenastaden, our new office.
Right, we followed you guys on Instagram there. So someone, I think in your marketing team, brought us through the entire office. We got to see it. It looked very impressive.
Yeah.
But just adding on to what you said about SEB being a big company, it's also good things coming out of that. I spent 2 months in Luxembourg, you went to Frankfurt, that you got the opportunity also to transfer internally or do internships and such.
Yeah, can you tell us a little more about if there are transfer opportunities and how it works?
Yeah, I think it's just either you can reach out, say, hey, I want to come work for you 2 months, and they say, okay, let's see, and how can we work this out? And also people post ad on the intranet, do you want to come work here for 2 months? And one of our value word is collaboration. So managers in general try to make it happen or make it possible.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And the culture, like you said, you're a lot of small companies. Does the culture differ across them, or is it by and large the same?
Of course it differs, like any other big company, I would say. If it doesn't differ, I think it helps the company if it differs a bit, because we have different type of customers, so we need to sort of have a different culture within different divisions, so to speak. So I think there are different cultures. But in one sense, like Sofia said, she mentioned one of our value words. They sort of combine us, our 4 value words. And I think, one SEB, and it's important to remember that we are one SEB, but, also to acknowledge that there can be different cultures within a company, because that, strengthens our business.
Yeah. Okay. And say if we're going through and some people want to get the taste of like a day at SEB and the culture is, are there things that you guys do in the office at times that are, I guess, fun? Like, do you have any like after work things or any things like that you guys do? Or
Yes.
Yes.
After work, yeah.
Yes.
you can, tell us as much as you want. But,
No, but I think I can only speak for my department. But we're very different ages. When I started, it was like I was a bit shocked that it was so many people that were maybe a bit older. But then in the end, they turn out to be like the funniest people ever. So I really like to hang out with them after work as well.
Okay.
We try to do that as often as we can.
Sorry, I interrupt you all the time. Sorry.
And we hang out the trainees as well.
Yeah.
I like keeping contact and.
Yeah, and it could be doesn't have to be after works. Can be lunches, and I think it's a good. I don't know what the question was, but I think it's a good good atmosphere. Not just after works, but you do things together. It's a good atmosphere.
Cool.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little about one thing that I've also heard, that a question that a lot of people have been asking is, you guys work in different departments. What are the type of things that maybe students at SSE, what are the different branches that they could work within? I know there's a lot of places to work, but give us like an overview about just generally how it looks.
But we have large corporate and financial institutions, so serving the largest corporates, and that would be corporate finance, high yield bonds and loans and such. And then we have corporate and private customers, so serving the smaller corporates and the private customers, and that is, mortgages, household savings, but it's also private banking where I work.
Okay.
That is investment management for high net worth individuals, and also the branch offices. And then we have business support, that is the IT development, and also life and investment management, so that's pension and fund management. So that's in general, right?
Yeah. And the top position at the life division is called head of life. Which is quite nice.
That's a nice title.
That's the tone.
That's the goal for everyone, to be head of life.
Okay, and your paths to ending up at SEB, can you guys tell us a little about, just because, every student's here, they're all trying to find their path. Where you guys studied, what your background was, what maybe you did in your free time when you studied, and how that ended up becoming SEB for you guys.
Yeah, I can start a bit. I studied up in Umeå, city north up in Sweden. Very cold and dark, but I studied there. And then you sort of went to the career fair every year and try to mingle with different companies every year. And I want to spin on the thing I said about freshmen here as well, because you sort of walk around to get a feeling of the company. You go to lunch lecture maybe in the spring and in the autumn. You get a sense of what the company are about. And so that was for me with SEB. I met SEB a few times, different ambassadors for SEB, and it just felt good every time. So sort of, and then I applied to a lot of work, a lot of different positions, and then I just get to know SEB one step at a time, and it sort of felt right.
And how long have you been with SEB now then?
We have been both with SEB for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
And I'm a former SSE student.
Okay.
I graduated in 2014.
Okay.
And after finishing school, I went to the UK for a few months to do. I was very active back then in show jumping, so equestrian, jumping with horses.
Yeah.
So I did that for 6 months. Came back, started working in corporate finance before I joined SEB then in 2015, and have been there last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Do you have any time to do any more equestrian nowadays, or?
No, but it's actually pretty good. I have rather flexible hours. I can stay a little bit longer one day, leave a little bit earlier the other day. So I try to make it work.
Take the horses to work.
I brought them to Luxembourg and stuff. But it is rather flexible. I think people they try to encourage it. I think.
But I think that's it's a tough question what company you end up at.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot about how you feel in the stomach,
And I think also you're allowed to change.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to make every decision for life. If you don't like your job, you can quit.
Yeah.
Try something else.
Okay. But you guys aren't quitting anytime soon, it sounds like.
No,
I like it. Yeah.
Good. Is there something when you started SEB, is there something that surprised you that you didn't expect? or was?
I think you underestimate how big SEB is. I would say, because you come in as a trainee and you want to sort of flip and do things and change things right away. But it's a big organization. It takes time. So I think patience, for me, was one of the things I did not expect, so to speak. That you need to be patient. And you need to understand that SEB is an old company with a big foundation to stand on, and that matters.
I think I was adding on to the same thing. When you're in school, it's about delivering a good assignment next week, maybe, and here it's about making the right choices and being able to deliver in 6 months or maybe even a year. So I think it puts emphasis on like collaboration and like good planning and such. But I think that's like the transition from being in school to working life in general, but even more so if you're in a big organization.
And this may be a tough question, but because when you go into those long cycles, how do you guys keep motivated to be like pursuing that goal and staying in line with really like the best for SEB, in the long term, when you have that like half-day deadline every day, like, you know what I mean?
That's a good. We try to like cut the elephant and like make small goals in the meantime. And I think, and also trying to like maybe have like one long-term projects and then a few short-term on the side as well. I think for me.
Yeah, and a good question, Filip. And I think staying connected. SEB is all about delivering world-class service to our customers. And if we stay connected to the customers throughout the project, we can sort of change it and tune it a bit the project throughout when we receive customer feedback. So I think staying in touch with the customer throughout the journey in the project makes it more interesting than seeing a PowerPoint in 2025 that I should deliver.
Okay, so do you? That was very interesting what you said there about like. So you get a lot of customer contact at the company as well, because that's another concern that some people have. But you feel that you really get that.
I think we as an organization we are sort of measured on customer feedback, and we want to deliver world-class service. And it might feel like a cliche, and it probably is, but you can really feel that we are. The customer is always first, and to deliver world-class service to customers everywhere in the organization.
I don't have my role is not to meet the customers. I'm like one step behind, but I try to go out and meet customer like 3-4 times every year. I think that's a very like fun part of the job.
And that feels like it's a great thing about SEB, that maybe if you don't even exactly if you want to be with customers, you can, but there's something for everyone, it seems like.
It is.
And speaking of something that's for everyone, the banquet tonight. Are you guys going to the banquet? Sophia's.
You are not?
I'm not. I have a 6 months baby back home. He's sick. So I need to go back. Either I bring him to the banquet, or
that's a bad idea. I wouldn't do that.
So
okay, cool. So you're coming back to the old stomping grounds. Then.
Yes.
Were you engaged in SAS at all?
No, actually not.
The question took time, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Have you been to the banquet before?
Yes, I try to go every year. It's like so much fun to come back, and there's a lot of like old friends from school that come back as well. So
it's a good time. Are you going to be? You're holding a speech maybe? Or?
No, it's like two other
people.
SEB representatives.
It will be a good speech, though.
Good speech for those of you coming tonight. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. Really nice to meet you and talk about SEB. Hope you have a good time tonight, and I hope your kid starts to feel better.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything that you guys want to say specifically, or?
No, I think just like we said, just come talk to every company you see and get a sense of what the company are about, and continue to do that throughout your years at Handelshögskolan.
Okay. Yeah, there you have it. So if you want to know more about SEB, you can visit their website and keep posted on next year's trainee program when it comes around. Otherwise, we're wrapping up the last interview for the day. Thank you for joining us. We're going to close out in a few minutes. We'll be right back.